Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's been a while since I've seen everyone. Well, I don't really see you, but you've been seeing me since I've been doing these classes, and I look forward to seeing everyone and then working on our Tongren therapy and answering questions. For myself, all questions are open. Tongren, nutrition, any other things that you want to talk about. As everybody knows, I have sort of a holistic way to approach my healing practice, integrating many things, including herbs, nutrition, food. But here we're going to have our actual Tongren treatments, and my goal is also that you learn about the points that you need for yourself and take care of yourselves. And we're going to give everybody a nice treatment. And what I want to do also is, if you would please let me know if you can hear me. And I guess I am anonymous 5931. So I'm just going to check in. I have one person who's, so just for, if you're speaking with anyone, just they need to realize that I'm actually on my website, and we'll just work out all the bugs the first time. And I do have a chat going. I'm technically on YouTube as well at the same time, so if people go there, they will see me there. But let me know if you see me and hear me. And here we go. We want to start with the treatments. Nobody's saying that they can hear me. And we're going to get one more person going, and we should be all set. People are thinking that I'm on Tongren Station. I'm not. I did it independently on a website, which kind of broadcasts back and forth between my website and YouTube. But this way, nobody has to log in as well to make it easier. Sometimes it's good that if you're all a member of Tongren Station and our newsletter list as well. And we will begin. And I'm going to start right now, but I don't hear anyone. Oh, yep, we do have chiming in from Stephanie. She said she can hear us. Okay. So lots of technology going on. So the basic thing, I'm going to go right here, right now, to our very first person. And let me know if everybody can hear me. And somebody says they cannot hear or see anyone. You'll only be seeing me, first of all. And let me see, can't hear or see anyone on the website. Stephanie said she could see both. Try to click the play button. Yes, click the play button on my website, and then you'll actually be running the output from the actual class. Yep, you need to run it. That will work for you. So click. Click on the arrow to start the stream. So I'm going to begin. Does anybody other than Stephanie hear me? So I'm going to actually begin now. Can people hear me now? So we'll just take our time. And we're actually going to start with people Hopefully they can hear me. I hope you can hear me. You can see me. I moved the screen so you could actually see it a little bit. You don't need to see top of my head there. Sherry is on. Woohoo! Hi, Sherry. All right, we are golden. We're going to go good. So let's start at the top. As it says here, cool beans. So that was me. Can everybody hear me talking now? So the first one is endometrial cancer. So what we're going to do is just do, as we always do, we're going to do a general tune-up for everything in the body with our three-part process, like I teach in person and on my online training. And then we stay and focus on the other things. So I'm just checking in. So people cannot hear me. So MS 572. So we'll work out the bugs and then get this going perfect for people. I guess I am Anon 5931. So endometrial cancer. So I'll face the doll to everyone here. So MS 572. How you doing? You got to click the play button. And that should be it. You just go to my webpage, click the play button. I pressed the button for the video, but just got other videos. Okay, what is your link? What? I'm just asking what link she's at. Are you able to click the play button on the video? So we go through part 1, blood flow and circulation to the brain. If Sherry, you would chime in and type hello, that would be great if you're out there. And I'm guessing that if somebody is seeing a lot of other videos, they may be on the YouTube page. And I am live on YouTube. So aortic arch, subclavian artery, common carotid artery, blood flow to the brain. Command points for the brain. So let me just check, make sure. Okay, Sherry is on. Hello, Sherry. So other people are finding me on YouTube. Sherry found me on YouTube. Not sure how that happened. And there is a comment on YouTube, which I'm looking at right now. People can see and hear me, and they are checking in because I can monitor YouTube and my website same time. So the command points of the brain, GV19, 20, 21, 22. And the command points of the brain stem, GV19. GV17, cardiac respiratory vasculatory center. So we can go blood flow. So we want to work on the bioelectricity And we want to work on the blood flow to support the bioelectricity, so the vertebral artery and the spinal artery. And the immune system. So for everyone, please put in your requests on YouTube or on my website. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7 for the immune system. Which we have this feature to show on the bottom. That's our basic immune system protocol. And for cancer, whenever we deal with cancer, we want to boost the immune system, reduce inflammation, which increases oxygen, which is anti-cancer. That's our basic formula. So I'm presuming that people do not have to sign in when they check me out on YouTube. So I won't say the names that I see in the comments for your privacy, but for the people that have made comments on YouTube, please go ahead and put in your requests. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7. T7 to T12. So our number one goal for cancer is increasing oxygen, which is the trigger for cancer genes to activate and create cancer cells and cancer complexes, cancer tumors. So even low-tech exercises like rebounding, yoga, they increase oxygen, which is also anti-cancer. Lumbar 1 to 5, adrenals and kidneys, but T7 to T12, lumbar 1 to 5, the whole endometrium area. So if you can see, as a teaching, and I'm going to take off the banner for a moment. So you can see me. So let's hear from people. Say hello, how you doing? So I won't feel too lonely here. If you're out there, talk to me. If you have any questions about Tongren and nutrition, meaning of life, I think we have enough time for that. I'll check out my time here. And then bring it down the legs, some big points, bladder 54 right behind, and liver 3 and kidney 1. So Sherry, did you add in some comments or some requests? Or were you able to? And I see you on my phone. You can text it to me and I can add it in myself. And then part 3. So we do it in a 3-part process to really be complete. After doing Tongren over 20 years, we want to do a 3-part process. 1 is the blood flow and the brain points. Number 2 is the spine and the sympathetic nervous system. And number 3 is the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic nervous system. So you're always balancing fight or flight against rest and digest, kind of like life. And at the end, we'll do a general treatment for everyone with the corona situation going on. I'm working on some people with corona. One of my corona patients, he's getting out of the hospital tomorrow. He'll be fine. We just focus on oxygen and oxygen and oxygen. So people are saying they cannot add in a comment on YouTube. Maybe they have to have a YouTube account somehow. And grounding, always top to bottom. So again, for the endometrial, lungs, for oxygen. So I don't see any new texting or new information on my chat. So if people would just chat, hello, I'm here, or hello world or something, just so I know that it's still working. So the next person we will work on is for perfect blood. I won't use people's names, I remember that now. Looks like we have 8 people on at the moment, 10 people on at the moment. They must have just got off the bus. It's working, but not the chat. Okay, so I'll figure that out. And I will give more instructions next time. Because the chat, there is a chat on my website, which people can use. And you see some comments on YouTube, and I can actually pull those up. There's a lot of comments on YouTube. Yep. All right. So this is the first time attend the class for someone, and we will tap for Parkinson's. But next one, we will work on Drew, and then someone for perfect blood, and you can give me a code name for that if you like. For your names, you don't have to use your real names. I try to respect everybody's privacy as much as possible. So the next one is for Drew, somebody who I have known probably 15 years. And then after I met her at the TAM Center, I realized that I worked with her husband in the legal department of a company I used to work at, Eaton Vance. So we were actually co-workers. So that was cool. So for Drew, water absorption, pancreatitis, the spleen, and the colon. So again, we work on a basic process. And welcome for all first-time people. And yes, we will work on Parkinson's. And I'll recommend some herbs and some other things. So, water absorption, pancreatitis, spleen, and colon, which is inflammation. So blood flow to the brain, CV19, 20, 21, 22, and everybody is getting the benefit anyway. But if you can, just sit and relax. Feet flat on the floor, palms in your lap, and just enjoy the treatment. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Joe Lucier. I'm working with Tom, and actually we were in adjacent rooms up for about 20 years. We did workshops together in Singapore. Quite a few years, quite a few experiences. And let me just make a quick note. I'm also monitoring another situation. GB 1920, 21, 22. Next time I'll probably have music. And we work on the brain points, the command points of the back of the head. So water absorption. That deals with circulation, mineralization, all kinds of things. And pancreatitis, any itis, which is T1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Again, we can put that up there. So vertebral artery to the spinal artery. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7. If people can see me, that's our basic protocol for all inflammation, any itis. And then we work on the specific individual organs. So let's focus on the spleen, which is T8, T7 for the spleen, T8 for the pancreas. And digestion, absorption, and elimination to help with water absorption. Most water absorption is through the colon, and a lot of times it's interfered with through constipation. So T11, T12, L4, L5, and S5. As you can see me, and I'm going to actually try to play a little bit of music for a second, if I can reach it. Okay, got it. If you hear music, that's from me. So the spleen, T7, T8, so those are close. And then down to the ground, down to the feet. And then the third part. The vagus nerve down to the digestion. And we discussed this earlier. I will focus on the vagus nerve, which is GB12, because that deals with the digestion, pancreas, spleen, all those things, and then the lower dantian for the colon. So we have points, which are blockages, and then dantians, which are a lot of times for charging or tonifying, as we call it in Chinese medicine. and then grounding. And I hope everybody's doing well. Okay, good. We got more people. 10 people on my site. Looks like 10 people maybe on the YouTube site. So it looks like we got already about 15 or 20 people. Okay, great. Our next area is to focus on leukemia. So leukemia is a type of blood cancer, and what makes the blood is the target, which is the bones and the bone marrow. And there are some specific herbs, specific processes from a Tongren perspective. We want to work on the bones and bone marrow, so we work on the blood flow to the brain. So for all leukemia out there, ALL, CLL, and all of those, and we think of it in the process: blood flow to the brain, brain command points, brain stem command points, vertebral artery to the spinal artery. So part 1, blood flow in the brain points, the command center, your central processing area. Part 2, vertebral artery for the spinal artery and all the spine points and the sympathetic nervous system. C1 to C7, but then especially T1 for the bones. And inflammation T1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So the key for working with leukemia, there are specific herbs which build the bone marrow. There are clay therapies you can use for building bone structure, mineralization, different things. And there are things you can do to support the immune system of the bones and the bone marrow and the spinal nerves, which is cranial sacral fluid. So we're going to work on that too. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7. T7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Lumbar 1 to 5. And some special points for bone marrow in Chinese medicine. About 3 fingers up from the ankle on the outside. GB39 also for the bone marrow. Bone marrow is the factory for blood cells. So people are saying they can't do the messages, but they can see me on YouTube. I'm presuming they can see and hear me on YouTube, but they can't do messages. Not sure exactly why, but we'll figure it out. Next week will be perfect. It's the first time I've done this, probably in about 3 or 4 years. And then vagus nerve, phrenic nerve and vagus nerve on the torso. And I would just like to announce that you can leave requests in either place. I can see both. You can put it on YouTube or put it on here. I actually have them both next to each other. And so whatever works for you is easier. That's great. Maybe on that YouTube area, I can put in some comments and some notes of what to do. So we're going to go to our next request. Okay, we have a request. So let's right now go to Parkinson's. And one of the goals of my discussions or doing the channel is to educate people on their conditions and to understand, if you really go to the source, to the root of the condition, you can target that area. A lot of times it is bioelectricity, bioelectrical blockages, as we learned from our 10 healing system. And then we open up that blockage allows the bioelectrical flow. But the bottom line is allowing that bioelectrical flow allows cellular plumbing, toxins out, oxygen and nutrients in to work better, period. That's why it works so well. So let's work on Parkinson's. Parkinson's is where a certain part of the brain called the substantia nigra, it breaks. That controls movement and shaking. And there are some classical herbs from Indian Ayurvedic medicine, which I use for patients. I've had a lot of Parkinson's patients. Parkinson's does really well with acupuncture and medical massage, the Tuina massage that we do. I've had people fly in from Michigan for 10 days of work with myself and an acupuncturist, Christina, to do an intense series. And then they got such benefit, they flew me out to Michigan to train their local people to do what I taught them, what I did, so they could continue on. And I still hear from them, and they're doing quite well. And the other benefit was I was living there for about a week, and I made all the food. I taught them how to make good food, and so it was a great experience. And they're wonderful people, and they're doing quite well. So a lot of that is detoxing, removing heavy metals. Lead is one of the possible causes for Parkinson's, as well as gut issues. So constipation is a very common target, a very common symptom of Parkinson's, which can be dealt with through foods, Tongren, and different things. So let's work on T12347. Digestion, absorption, elimination for the colon for everyone. So I think this process is going to work great. If I forget to include you, just please type your condition again, or any questions that you may have. T7 and T12. So Parkinson's, anti-inflammation. But the key is detoxing, so let's work on the liver area. Heavy metals, like lead, is a common cause. Long-term exposure to solvents or heavy metals is another cause. So detoxing through food, cleanses, juicing. Clay is always the best option for detoxing. Earthen clay is the most amazing thing for detoxing, cleansing, oxygenation, mineralizing. Very low tech, high effectiveness. And for cancers, there are simple low-tech devices, breathing, which manages your oxygen, which is also good for pretty much any condition. T7 and T12, lumbar 1 to 5, S1 to 5. And then down the legs, make sure people can see me. So let's work on the ouch, what we call a very advanced point called the ouch point. substantia nigra, which is right around the central part of the brain. Literally means the black substance, the middle part of the brain that controls movement, dopamine, different things. There are dopamine drugs, but there are also dopamine enhancement herbs without any side effects, which are very helpful. And we work on the vagus nerve and the phrenic nerve down the torso, and work on the digestion. So I'm getting a lot of texts here. Hopefully they're from people. So there are 11 people on YouTube, and we had about 10 people. So not bad for the first day, about 20 people. So let's continue on. And even if you don't put in a request, that's okay too, because we're doing kind of a general tune-up for everyone. And at the end, we will do a little bit of Qigong for everyone, a little battery charge, and you should be good to go. So again, for Parkinson's, 2 things: lead toxicity, gut microbiome rebuilding, and bioelectrical blockages. And of course, exercise, because the muscles atrophy so quickly with Parkinson's. So extra exercise multiple times a day is very critical. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Okay. So let's continue on. Let's look on the Anusara Wellness website. And I have the same request. Here, we'll do this one next. It's fibromyalgia, multiple chemical sensitivities, oral abscesses, TMJ, right side. And we will work on all of that. So we need to think about what's going on. Chemical sensitivities means that the immune system of the body is weakened to a point where even simple chemicals overwhelm the body. So the key is to build an immune system up strong. We all have sensitivities. We all are interacting with microbes on a regular basis. The key is that our immune system is strong so that it isn't overwhelmed by the environment. So let's work on the immune system. And again, my favorite button in the world, right here, which is so cool. You can see the protocol T12347, but let's do our 3-part complete process. Blood flow to the brain, T12347. So there's a question, if I'm seeing requests from Tongren and my website, I'm actually seeing them from both simultaneously. Thanks to the help of someone out there named Stephanie, who's put this technology and this process together very well. Makes it very easy, has privacy, as well as kind of being an educational process. So thanks to Stephanie for making this happen. So fibromyalgia is an overcharging of the nerves. Again, the body is responding to inflammation. Chemical sensitivities means the immune system is responding because it's too weak. So basically everything is overcharging, overreacting, and going a little bit haywire. So the key is to calm everything down. One is the central nervous system. The other one is the immune system. And the third part is toxicity. So again, I always talk about earth and clay as the best way to detox herbs and different things. And we're going to use our protocol, which you can see right on the screen right there, T12347. And the other thing is an oral abscess on the right, which we will work on. Let's work on the ouch point, the jaw, C3. C2, 3, and 4 for the jaw, TMJ. A lot of times TMJ can be a chiropractic adjustment. The chiropractic adjustment can correct the area for the tooth. The abscess may be because of an area of a maladjustment in the jaw, or just maybe an infection or a bad tooth. So chiropractic is a great complement to Tongren and Tui Na, because they move the bones, we move the muscles and the bones, and we work on the nerves to the different organs, similar to chiropractic as well. I actually work in a chiropractic office. I've been blessed to work at what we call Hanover Chiropractic in a great office in Massachusetts. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, anti-inflammation for the fibromyalgia, multiple chemical sensitivities for the abscess, which is also an inflammation. And we work on the jaw directly, but we activate the whole spine to calm down the spine. So the spine is speed up, the spine is the fight or flight. And then to calm it down, we do the third part, which is GB12, vagus nerve, which is rest and digest. To balance out, in many ways, it is the yin and yang of the body. So we don't want to miss anyone. Let me see, we have thrombocytopenia, and it says Marie. Hello, Marie, thrombocytopenia. Yes, again, for thrombocytopenia, leukemia, even the coronavirus, which affects red blood cells and hemoglobins, all of those things. What I'm going to do next is going to cover all of that for everyone, pretty much everyone on the planet, which is a great goal. And we're getting more comments from YouTube. And somebody took a screenshot of the crazy guy. Who is that funny guy? Who is the man behind the curtain, eh? The Tongren curtain? So we want to work on bone marrow. We want to work on nourishment for the bone marrow production. The bone marrow is like another organ. Its job is to create blood cells. The support for the bone marrow is through blood supply and craniosacral fluid, which goes up and down the spine, and in the middle of the night while we're asleep, it actually kind of washes out the entire spine every night, and has a lot of immune cells for our immune system. And the spine, the health of our spine. And if you're not familiar with craniosacral treatments, therapies, there are craniosacral therapists, including at the chiropractic clinic that I do. There are also people that do remote craniosacral therapy treatments. Believe it or not, it's like Tongren, but it's doing it on the craniosacral flow. It's amazing. I only know one person that does it. She's really cool. She does a great job. She's from Canada. So T1 for the bones. T1 for the bones. Getting some good comments here. This is my first beard since probably maybe 1983. Not really sure. Have to think about that. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, but especially T1 for the bone marrow. GB39 for the bone marrow. Great point for acupuncture, a great point to put a magnet or a point from an acupuncturist there to leave it on there for a while. And the other thing for leukemia, for thrombocytopenia, all of those is also to work on the spleen. So it seems there are two places, not just one, where they recycle blood cells. One is the spleen, and also new science has shown that it's also the liver. So spleen, T7, where we recycle blood cells. The liver, where we recycle blood cells, we store iron, and we use iron for oxygen, for hemoglobin, for basically our red blood cells, and to have blood counts to avoid anemia. So everybody's quiet, and we got lots of comments, which is great. So we've actually got 3 sources of text going on: my phone text, my website, and YouTube, and it's all working perfectly. And we continue to get new comments. Wow. So somebody said they're learning a lot and they feel good. Life is good. That's what we want. We want basically people there's a question, where do you put a magnet? You know, these little tiny magnets, I use them. A really good place is spleen 6. Spleen 6 and GB 39. I'm posting a comment, and I'm actually going to show it, which is the coolest thing ever. Let me see how that looks. I can even make it bigger, make it into a banner. A lot of people will be asking. GB 39, spleen 6, that banner, and let's show that. It's a great educational tool. So spleen 6, so let's work on the spleen directly, the liver directly, T9, right side. But really powerful points in Chinese medicine, GB39, about 3 fingers above the outside of the ankle. You just go with your fingers like that. Right in here will be the spot directly above on the outside of the ankle for GB39. You do the same thing for the inside of the ankle for spleen 6. So those 2 points are incredibly powerful, GB39 especially for the bones. And continue on thrombocytopenia. So the second part to support is the craniosacral fluid. And I don't know if people know, there is a rhythm of a fluid that flows up and down the spine at a very regular rate. Craniosacral fluid therapy is to make sure that rate is normal. It is regulated correctly. It's like a tide in our bodies, pumped through the brain. It's crazy. It's really incredible. So we want to manage that. We can even manage that through Dongren, because Dongren is magical. It can do anything. So it starts right here, sphenoid bone. Give a little boost for T1, and the terminal point S5. There are massage therapy techniques that work on tailbone adjustments, because that is where the craniosacral fluid flow may be negatively impacted. There's a woman who's treated 5,000 children for childhood leukemia with 5,000 successes with the medical massage therapy technique, which I went crazy to learn and finally figured it out. And it's on YouTube, like everything. But if she were alive today, the woman who does it would be about 110 or 120 years ago, 120 years old. So that measurement is basically like street swing. You just go from here, from your ankle, up to here, right in the middle. But the easy trick, you just roll your finger up about that much, and you will feel a very painful point, especially for spleen 6. Very easy to find. You can even just massage it yourself. So let me make sure I'm getting caught up, because I think we're going to have more than 20 people, maybe 25. And we have a few more minutes. And day 1, we will check. So welcome to the new people. First time with my broadcast, which makes sense. In reality, this is the first time for pretty much everybody there. And I think the technology works tremendously, especially as an educational tool. And I don't want to miss anything. I think we have some more. So the website disconnects, and then we just reconnect. Really easy. So it looks like we've actually caught everybody's requests. Let me just make sure. Yeah, my goal is that you learn more about your own health. And number 1 is to understand that you can be empowered, that you can actually take care of yourself, learn more things, and don't question everything, even everything that I say. That's what I tell everybody. The question is, does it matter which ankle? Yes, actually, that's a great question. I would do both. Yeah, do both. Good question. Making history, Joe, somebody said. Okay, making history. Yay. Okay. All right. So I think we've caught up everybody's treatment, everybody's condition. If I missed it, just type it again. And if I still missed it during the call, you can even text me. So sometimes I'll actually put up at the end, I'll organize it better. I'll have my website, my phone number. You can text me. I'll make sure you don't get missed no matter what happens. So what we're going to do right now is, there we go. We have one that I missed. Heart health. Let's do that. So we do our 3-part process. And for everybody that's listening, please hang in till the end. And we're going to do a little Qigong charging, a little Tibetan healing bowl, balancing, and a little blessing for all the people suffering, everybody here, as well as all the people that are impacted by the coronavirus, the worldwide pandemic. Who would have thought we're a worldwide global village? Who would have thought that, right? So for the heart conditions, let's work on blood flow to the brain, command center, the central nervous system, but especially for the heart, GV17, which we call the GV17, which we call the cardiac, respiratory, and vasculatory center. And we get another request, hip to hip for our mascot, Coco. Someday maybe we can put up a picture of Coco. Coco is 4-legged and a great mascot, and we want Coco to be happy. So for the heart, the command center. So the best technique for anybody that wants to practice Tongren, number 1, you kind of encourage the blood supply. Number 2, you go for the command center point. You start the highest, closest to the brain. That's going to cover everything. And then you go to the target areas, number 3, and then you can really be comprehensive and effective. Since Tongren can actually fit every part of the body, it's good to go system by system and then really be effective and really help people. So GV17 for the cardiac center, what we call the medulla. Blood flow to the spine. And eventually we'll have even webinars and trainings. I have online training, which has a video of a lot of the things that we discussed. Then I'll probably do a series maybe of Tongren. But importantly is our foundational health, and a focus on colon health through colon cleanses is critically important. And you can probably see that on my website or on the newsletter, which we just sent out. Because number one foundation is to clean the gut, clean the colon. Then from there, you build up everything else. You detoxify the colon, cleanse, and build the gut, which is 70% of our immune system. So let's work directly on the heart T5. So we're getting some thank yous. We got a few more minutes. We're right on track for time, which is a good sign for the future. So anybody else that I may have missed, please have patience. Please just type in your request again so I don't miss it. And there's a way I can put up pictures. I can have a library of pictures available. For visual aids, I want to make this a training so people are educated, empowered, take charge of your life, eat well, plant-based nutrition. You'll hear me talk about that a lot because that's a foundational healing. But remember, the science of that is that it is alkaline. The more alkaline you are, the more oxygenated you are, you reverse hypoxia, which is the core cause of just about every disease. And then it increases cellular voltage, just like the Tongren healing system. More oxygen, more voltage, less inflammation. Life is good. Couldn't be better. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Again, heart problems, blood flow and heart problems, digestion, absorption, and elimination. T7 and T12, lumbar 1 to 5. And bladder 54 down to the down. Always grounding. We don't want energy to go up to the brain. That's from martial arts backgrounds and meditation backgrounds. Tom Tam, the system that he developed, he's a Tai Chi master. So a lot of these things you don't want to create what's called Kundalini energy, which is usually needs to be done with the supervision of a master. So we are always bringing things and grounding. It's always good to be grounded. Vagus nerve down the torso, and let's work on the heart area. So from a Dantian perspective, which is an energy center, CV17. So I'll be here every week because I like to follow everybody's progress. And if people are still struggling, we'll continue to focus on things. We can continue to fine tune what we can do for everybody every week. And one of the best parts that I always enjoy is next week somebody comes in and say, yep, I feel better, which is the biggest thing in the world. Or my markers have gone down, my blood pressure has gone down, all these different things. And you can give me actual feedback. And I will be as detailed as possible. And then if we're struggling to make progress, we'll focus on it with other approaches through herbs, nutrition, cranial therapy, cranial fluid, cerebral spinal fluid flow, chiropractic, other observations, other recommendations, even homeopathic. But the key is to have a holistic approach, different targets coming in at the same thing. And Tongren therapy is the core of that, which is going to help us a lot. CV17 down to the feet, liver 3, and kidney 1. And I think I've got all the requests. Can't believe it, we're right on time. I will check. And I think we got everybody correctly. And Coco, we did not do Coco specifically for the hips. Hip to hip. Dogs, a lot of times, because of their breeding and different things, have hip dysplasia. So work on the blood flow, which is T7, and the hips. And the nerves, hip to hip. Lumbar 4, lumbar 5, S1, S2. That's the lumbosacral plexus, the nerve supply for the hips, and the sciatic for anyone. Down the legs, bladder 54, which also supports the lower back. And the lower dantian for the hips and for all the lower organs for everyone. 2 inches below the navel. So my practice is called the Anusara Wellness Practice. Anusara is a Sanskrit word similar to the word Tao, the Tao of healing. Tao is the universal source from the Creator. Thank you everyone for joining us. We are running 1 or 2 minutes, but I will just do, for anyone that is staying here, I would just have you sit and relax. Take a deep breath and put your mind just below your belly button, and I'm going to do sort of a Qigong healing for everyone. Build your Qi. So after we move and open blockages, then we charge the battery to fill up your gas tank with Qi to go through the whole body in the new areas that have opened up to allow the resources of the body to heal you. I don't do anything. I'm a facilitator, just a crazy guy on the internet. So your body is going to do all the work. My goal, my job is to remove blockages, to give the body more resources to heal, and for you to live a fulfilled life. So thank you for joining us. And then what we do, this is even scientifically proven to help with cancers, everything, but the logic is similar to Tongren. It creates harmonious frequencies, kind of like brainwave entrainment in Tongren, and balancing out the energy and bringing the energy in from the collective unconscious, what is known as the morphic field, with other healing modalities. And there are many of them. So here we go. So if it's too loud, let me know, but I just want to get it going. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Blessings to all of you. And be well, be safe, and build your immune systems. Do Qigong, yoga. I'm a certified yoga instructor, and I teach yoga, but I primarily use yoga for homework for my patients. And it's a great therapy along with Qigong. Taiji Chuan, as Tom teaches, as I've studied probably for a few decades as well, even in the United States and overseas at Tai Chi camps. And thank you for joining me. And if you have any feedback, comments, or recommendations or suggestions, I'm always interested to hear. If you don't agree with something which I said, I'm always interested to be corrected. And humbly am your student as well. You all teach me so much. So thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing everybody next week. Take care and have a great day.